2 years ago, when I reviewed Aegean Airlines for the first time from London to Athens, the thumbnail title was Europe's Dark Horse, and I gotta say, absolutely nothing has changed except for the cabin crew uniforms. Some airlines simply know who they are and how they fit into their market, and they use that insight to rise above the competition without really feeling like they're trying all that hard. That's what Aegean is. No frills, solid service, consistent food, and careful expansion. It's funny, I just looked at my airline rankings to see which airlines I could say the same about, and it's pretty much every airline ranked as an 8. Swiss, Oman Air, Etihad, Cathay, SAS, Delta, and unsurprisingly, Aegean. So let me welcome any of you that might be new to the channel. My name is Kevin. Over the last 5 years, I've flown over 130 airlines, so I could bring you my self-funded, drama-free, and honest takes on them all. Not to mention the over 200 hotels and resorts that I've reviewed so far. Scan the QR code to explore the destinations I've covered and learn more about the channel. Without further ado, let's get flying. Prague just hits differently. Let's just agree that every popular travel destination on Earth is overhyped in some way, shape, or form by this point. Prague felt different though. I was there for 4 nights and was expecting to like it, with the conclusion that, yeah, it's overhyped, but it's still a great place to visit. In reality though, I think it's just one of the few major cities in Europe that is quote-unquote overhyped, but really, it's just that good. Now in my mind sharing space with Madrid and Istanbul. If one good thing didn't come to an end though, there would never be a next one. So it's time to head to the airport and get to Chania in Crete for a few resort reviews, which will really be worth your time to take a look at. Today we'll be covering flight number 4 and 5 of this trip. Czechia kinda sorta doesn't have a flag carrier at the moment, so the options today were really limited since I was flying down at the very end of the season. My options were down to Smart Wings, which was non-stop but would put me on the wrong side of the island, or Aegean, connecting in Athens. Aegean was my choice since it would still get me into Chania a bit earlier. Prague's Václav Havel Airport Terminal 2 opened 2 decades ago, but still feels pretty modern and functional, serving as the city's hub for Schengen's own flights. I wasn't really in the mood to get my spinner on board today with a hope and a prayer, so I dropped that off at the check-in counter and headed airside to the Premier Lounge, which I accessed with Priority Pass. Aegean Airlines was founded in the mid-90s and commenced scheduled operations in 1999. Initially flying a handful of domestic routes out of Athens. It quickly expanded beyond its modest beginnings, acquiring Air Greece early on, and gradually building up partnerships with European carriers. A really significant milestone came in 2010 when Aegean joined Star Alliance, broadening its reach through global codeshares and alliance feed. One of the defining moments for the airline was when they acquired Olympic Air in 2013. While both airlines still operate under separate brands, the acquisition effectively created a unified Greek carrier with a strong domestic and international footprint. This arrangement allows Aegean to coordinate schedules and network plan with Olympic Air, improving connectivity across the Greek islands. The lounge was packed and I was in and out in about 10 seconds, so I just headed to my gate to try to catch our A320 coming in. Aegean has a fully narrow-body Airbus fleet split between A320s and A321s, with 67 aircraft in total. Of their 24 aircraft still on order, 4 of them are long-range and 2 of them extra-long-range versions of the A321. The XLRs should be entering the fleet right around the time that this video comes out, with announced services to Delhi and Mumbai waiting in the wings. For the first time, Aegean will also feature full flatbeds in business. It's an encouraging step for the carrier. But with just a small handful of the extended range jets on order, I don't think we're going to be seeing them spreading their wings too far. Aegean has two versions of seats on their regular range aircraft. These are the older of which really do look like they're from another era, but they're pretty comfortable. Old seats usually mean more padding. I wanted to compare, so I had an exit row seat for the first flight and what I thought was a standard seat for my second. Surprisingly enough, I preferred the regular seat. I'll explain why on the next flight. If you're enjoying the video and would like to support the channel, there are many ways that you could do so. A quick like on the video and subscribe helps with the algorithm, or you could check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. On Patreon, I post everything from early access or Patreon-only videos, newsletters, my best tips and tricks to save money on travel, glimpses behind the scenes, detailed advanced itinerary maps, and much, much more. Think of it as a toolbox to save money on or simply improve your next trip, especially if it's to Southeast Asia. If you have questions about upcoming travel, I can help with that too. Whatever you do though, thanks very much for doing it. Once in the air, a small meal service began and we had a choice of turkey pasta salad or just vegetable pasta salad. This was served with a mastic cookie and 2 rounds of drinks. Crew were present throughout the flight and just generally very pleasant.
επιβάτες για την αποδόση σας μπορείτε να χρησιμοποιήσετε την προσωπική έξοδο μόνο κατά θα πιάσει σε μια διάγωγή μας. Όποτε εξαναλώτερο περιβιέγγει,
I had a 2-hour transit, which is more than enough time in Athens if you're staying within the Schengen zone. So I headed to the really nice SkyServe lounge for some distant views of the landing aircraft. As of this year, Aegean and Olympic Air together fly around 250 direct routes connecting to roughly 162 destinations across Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, with 55 domestic routes and 195 international services. Of course, one of Aegean's most critical roles is serving Greece's islands. Greece has over 200 inhabited islands, and while not all have scheduled air service, Aegean and Olympic Air collectively serve more than 30 Greek island airports from Athens and regional bases. This domestic network is vital not just for leisure travel, but also for connecting residents to the mainland year-round, especially in seasons when the ferry services are limited. I headed downstairs to our bus gate for an on-time boarding. I booked seat 6A on this A321 and was originally meant to put this flight and my flight returning to Athens on Sky Express in the same video, comparing the two domestic carriers. You'll see in a couple weeks why Sky Express decided they did not like my plan. Same seats as my previous aircraft and just about the same amount of legroom as the exit rows. Most Aegean aircraft have the potential to have up to around 10 rows of Euro business class, but on these shorter domestic flights, less is used, in today's case just 3 rows. So if you book one of the forward rows, you may get lucky with extra legroom. Aerolopa details row by row how much legroom you can expect. This is noted as 33 inches for row 6, while standard seats are a very tight 28 inches. The reason I prefer this row is it's just about as roomy as the exit row, but I can keep my bag here with me. Next time you lean on the window in flight, just remember, a child's feet may have been there about an hour ago. our flight today was just 166 miles, a mere 32 minutes in the air, and yet the crew were able to pass out snacks to everyone. A nice treat on such a short hop. I will unapologetically keep them at an 8 for the same reasons that I mentioned before. They know who they are, and they're just good at it. There's nothing more that you could ask for on these short flights. So I really do hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss my twice weekly videos. I'll see you next time from the Dome's Zeen Chania, part of Marriott's luxury collection. Thanks as always for watching until the end.